topics and opinions expressed in the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4CY Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4CY Radio or its employees or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4CY Radio.
Welcome to the Ask the Expert show on W4CY Radio and Talk4 TV, where we bring you educational information from top local experts in the fields of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. Now sit back and listen to experts in family law, association law, hearing loss, business brokers, home care, along with many other topics. Now here are your hosts, Steve-O and Sophia.
Hey, good afternoon, Dallas, my hometown, where all my family lives. Of course, I'm in Florida now, but hey, this is our 16th year of Ask the Experts. For 16 years, we've been bringing you the finest experts in the field of legal health, financial, and home improvement. Hey, this is the last Wednesday of the month, and that means Elite Care Clinic, Dr. Daniela Gamboa. God, I swear you are like the favorite. People love listening and watching your show. How you doing, Dr. Gamboa?
Good. Thank you so much, Steve. How are you doing? Thank you.
We're doing great. We are so glad. It's always a pleasure to have you on. And it seems like we've been doing this for about 2 years now. And it seems like after each show, I go, God, just wasn't long enough. And, you know, we get all these people, all of our listeners' questions in, and they really ask some really good questions. Today, we're going to be talking about weight loss. But before we do, Dr. Danielle, tell people about Elite Care Clinic.
Sure, Steve. I'm a family medicine doctor, and I have my private clinic. That's Elite Care Clinic here in Las Colinas. We do primary care. We do hormones, weight loss, and also now I'm doing some aesthetics, because everything goes together. You know, whenever you start losing weight, you feel you want to look good, you want to look better, the same way you're feeling. So that all goes together. So feel good, look good, right?
Absolutely. You know, Dr. Gamboa, a lot of people, when they go to a new doctor, they're meeting him for the first time. When there is a show like this, they almost get to interview you in a way and see if there's a connection there. So we've had a lot of people are asking, what kind of procedures do you do with aesthetics?
Oh, I have different machines. We do, have you heard of M-Face? That's very good nowadays. Also, whenever we have some weight loss, all this, and also gravity, all these droops. And then the M-Face is a high intensity stimulation of the muscles of your face. So by doing that, it kind of brings up your all this area that if you're having the jowls, if you're also having a little bit of the chin here, we don't like this area. So everything tightens up. So in a non-invasive way. That's only 20 minutes, every treatment. That's once every week, and for 4 treatments. And that you can see results in 2 to 3 months, but they're very impressive.
Wow.
We never think about our muscles, right? So then I have also microneedling with radio frequency. We have the Exion, which also has very little pain. In the older times, we were having very painful procedures to do this, but now it's much better. Then we have the Ultra that helps with the brown spots, the resurfacing of your skin. Some people that may have melasma have good results with this. Although melasma is very complicated to treat, but it helps a lot with this machine. Then we have the Opus Alma that this one also does a great job with like production of collagen. It has like, if you have a little bit of like lines here or here around your mouth or around your eyes, that helps tremendously with that. And also like does some like resurfacing in a different way. So it's a plasma instead of a laser. And now like we're looking into like doing something that is being very famous in Korea. It's called XERF, XERF. And this is a less invasive, non-painful at all tightening of the skin. So that's kind of
Wow.
like the new thing coming. So like be on the lookout for that. Like that's something that I'm planning to bring it to the clinic. But that's something that is being a boom in Korea, a boom in Canada. It has been recently FDA cleared here in the United States, but it's going to be a success because people are trying to look for ways of looking younger in a natural way without a lot of like pain and also less invasive. So this would be awesome for that.
What about now? Listen, I know about getting older. So first of all, I want to ask you about the brown spots. Is that just on the hands or is it also on the facial?
Well, you can have like in all the exposed areas, like a lot of the times we just remember about putting the sunscreen on our face and we forgot about our neck and our like chest. So then we have a lot of freckles, a lot of brown spots, and you should like see that over there more, Steve, over there in Florida, that everyone
Yeah,
likes to like
with
bathe
the
in the
sun.
sun.
Yes.
Exactly. And we also have it in our hands. But this machines they do a great job with helping with the resurfacing, with decreasing all those brown spots.
Okay, so also about the tightening of the skin, I notice your skin seems to thin out as you get older.
Oh, yes.
And so in the arms, there's like, I don't know, like a shredding look.
Like
Is that right?
wrinkly.
Yeah.
Yes. See, yeah, like
So
there's
this
like a
new
wrinkly
machine.
skin. So that also, and if you lose weight, that gets even more noticeable. So it's
Oh,
always
yeah.
better whenever you're in the journey of losing weight, always at the early stage, try to be doing some resistant exercises that are going to help tremendously with your weight loss, insulin resistance, and maintenance of the weight later on. But also, like with that skin, like a lot of the times we do this with this newer one that we're gonna offer. That it's painless. It's like you can do it. It doesn't have any downtime. You can also do more like deeper things with that one, or micro needling. We can do that. That's a little bit more painful. Or we can also do with the Opus Plasma. So there are different things that we can do for that wrinkly skin from the arms, a little bit of the knees. Sometimes you have it. So that's what we try to do.
So Julia in Fort Worth just wrote us, oh, this is great. Dr. Gamboa, I love your show.
Thank you, Julia.
Your show is the last Wednesday of every month. I have it on my calendar. I never miss a show. I cannot wait to become a patient of yours.
Oh,
Uh,
thank you so much, Julia.
yes, my question to you is I'm seeing these gummies for weight loss on TV. Do you know anything about those?
If they're on TV, most likely they're only supplements, and then unfortunately, I cannot guarantee what those gummies have. They can like give you this places, they have a lot of great marketing ideas and marketing tactics, but I don't know what those gummies have. I've been reading sometimes that they have Garcinia, or they have like all this other vitamin B12, different supplements that probably are not going to do much for your weight. And again, we don't know like if there's not a very reputable like company that makes the supplements. Like we always have to be careful that they have a third party checking the purity, checking like the dosing of those like supplements. But also like you have to be very careful about what they are in those. Not about these gummies, but I was reading that lately they found that it said it was only for the knee pain. It said flex pain something, but unfortunately it was mixed with some like steroid in there, betamethasone, and also some anti-inflammatory. Of course, that was going to help you with the pain, but it was not because the supplement, it was because it had ingredients that they didn't mention in the bottle. So we always have to be careful about those supplements that they always tell you that they were do miracles for you, basically,
Yeah.
so be mindful of that. Also, like, to date, we don't have any weight loss medication that it would be like that in a gummy. The only one that we know that is prescribed, that is called Ribelsis, but right now this is only approved for diabetics. It's
Mhm.
semaglutide, but it's oral. But I've heard in the past like a lot of sublingual or oral semaglutide, and honestly, I really don't know how those work. There have been no studies for that. I really don't know how much of medication you get after it degrades or it gets digested. I really don't know how much or how those work.
I heard that Pfizer has come out with a liquid version of the skinny injection. Do you know anything about that?
The Pfizer, no, like I don't know anything about that. I know there are like these other medications that are on the phase two, like an investigation for a triple weight loss medication, but liquid, I didn't hear anything about that, and not even Pfizer. I think these other two ones are just from um, the one big ones are the Lilly and the Novo Nordisk, that they have the Wegovy and the Zepbound.
Well, I'm going to give you a plug. I read an article online.
Mhm.
Of course, they always go to Harvard, don't they? They always go to Harvard. And I got to tell you, it was the best commercial for weight loss. It was like I could not wait to get it. And I used it for 3 months and nothing. The reason I'm bringing this up is it's so important to see a doctor like Dr. Gamboa. All this stuff out there that you read about, yeah, I mean, I am telling you, there's so many bogus things out there. And I know, Dr. Gamboa, you believe in the skinny injection, and you know I'm on it. I totally believe in it. Let's talk about that because there's still so many people who don't understand, and it looks like it's going to be made more. I mean, some of them are going to have it made more available to everybody within the next couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, let's pray for that and let's hope for that, because honestly, this injections have been game changers for all the patients that they have obesity, that before they were not having any results with anything. We didn't really have great medications for obesity, but now we do. We finally are understanding better the way our bodies react. And remember, anytime you're going to lose weight, our body is going to go into what we call metabolic adaptation. And whenever your body goes into this 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 place, what it's doing is that it's trying to decrease your metabolic rate to save more energy, increases your hunger hormone, and decreases your satiety. So these medications have been so efficient and efficacious because they block those two mechanisms. They are going to decrease your hunger hormone and they are going to increase your satiety. So you're going to eat less quantity and you're going to feel fuller faster. So these injections, as Steve was saying, like they are like made by Novo Nordisk, Wegovy, for weight loss, and Ozempic, that we all know that it came out first for diabetes, and then for the Lilly company, it's Mounjaro for the diabetics and Zepbound for the weight loss. So these injections work great. Of course, there's no magic injection. Of course, like,
Right.
patients have to change their behaviors. They have to also start eating healthier and moving more, because there's no magic pill, no magic medication in the world that is going to give you that. I saw a commercial, they say lose weight without doing anything and eating your
Right.
hamburger and your pizza and everything. It's like, probably that's not realistic. So we have to do some kind of like change in our behaviors. We have to maybe decrease the soda, or like do it instead of doing every day, like little by little, taper it down, go once a week. And or change it for like a mineral water or sparkling water that it gives you the sensation of a soda, but you're not drinking all those calories from the sugar. Or little micro strategies, little changes at a time. So these injections, and what I wanted to mention to you guys also is that recently Wegovy was recently FDA approved for fatty liver. And fatty liver, it's like the way all of us know. That's why I mentioned that, because like they changed the name a little bit. It's called MASH, MASH. It means metabolic dysfunction, with hepatosteatosis of the liver. So what does all mean? Basically, it's fatty liver. It's inflammation of your liver from excessive like fatty tissue in there. So the fat is causing a lot of inflammation. Constant inflammation later on causes fibrosis, and later on it can develop cirrhosis. Cirrhosis we know well from alcoholism, but this type of cirrhosis is from the fat. Can you imagine that? Like that your liver stops working because we kind of like we're not eating properly, and then it gets like cirrhosis from the fatty tissue. So that's the scary part, you know. So thank God now like we have these medications that can help us, of course, along with healthy diet, less carbohydrates, eating more like protein, and less like processed foods, and doing some more walking or some kind of like exercise at home, a little bit of YouTube videos. You don't need to be just being at the gym 1 hour or two. So just a little bit of resistance exercises, your bands, your little weights whenever you're watching your favorite program, you know.
So if I walk into a GNC, Dr. Gamboa, and I say, I want something that's going to curve my appetite, there must be 60 different labels in the store. Okay. I think I tried at least 59 of them. Not one of them worked. Why is it? Because I'm on Ozempic. It has totally changed my cravings.
Mhm.
How does that work so well when nothing I ever tried in the bottle did work?
Because we didn't really know how our body how we could attack those two mechanisms in the past, and now we understand better how those peptides that we all have, like that are normal, like after we eat, the GLP-1s, like how they work. And none of those like supplements were hitting those receptors. So there's only one supplement that it may mimic a little bit. It comes from like some hops from like an island, and then it's called Calocarb. And this one, it shows, it claims that it can turn on those GLP-1 receptors. Not as potent, of course, as the injections and the prescribed medications, but they can help you at some degree. And that's a supplement that is called Calocarb. But other than that, to my knowledge, there's really not a lot of supplements, or there's no supplement that will turn on these receptors that is going to help you. Is going to like be working as the injections.
Another thing, I know you're not surprised about this, but my blood work since I went on Ozempic, Dr. Gamboa, I can't believe how good my blood work looks now since I've been on it. And I
Yeah.
think there's a lot of things this does that maybe they still don't quite, because I heard it also helps with cardiac patients.
Oh yes. So like the Ozempic, the Wegovy, they also help decrease the risk for like secondary prevention, for decreasing the risk for like heart attacks and strokes. And also Ozempic has the additional indication for decreasing the risk for chronic kidney disease. So it has a lot of benefits. But also if you think about, if we are losing all this fat from our body, from like the fatty tissue, the subcutaneous tissue, then also like everything is going to get better. The insulin resistance is going to improve, your blood pressure is going to get better, like the sugar is going to get better, your cholesterol is going to get better, the fatty liver that you were having, the inflammation of your liver is going to get better. If you were having obstructive sleep apnea, that's going to improve at some degree also. And one of the injections is approved only for obstructive sleep apnea. So like that's the Zepbound. So that's the only one that has been approved for obstructive sleep apnea. So that's sometimes how I help my patients. If their plan in the insurance don't cover the weight loss, then I go, if the patient has obstructive sleep apnea, I can go and request the medication for the obstructive sleep apnea. And many times it is approved. But many times the insurances, they still say, no, this medication is not in the formulary. And no matter what I wrote already letters, I do everything for the patient. I try my best to help them. But there's times that the insurance companies, they still deny the medications, unfortunately.
Well, I will tell you, because this is enrollment period is coming up next month for Medicare, that Humana Advantage does cover Ozempic. They do cover it. And I've had to pay, like, for the first 6 months, $30 a month out of my pocket, which is nothing.
Which is
And
great.
then for the next 6 months, I don't have to pay anything. But I got to tell people that it does work. I know some people have heard about the side effects. I myself, once in a while, get a little nauseated, but it goes away. It doesn't even last very long. Is that what you've noticed?
Yes, and thank you for bringing that up about the adverse effects. What happens with the adverse effects is, I know a lot of people are concerned and they hear things and they read a lot of things in social media. It's because, unfortunately, this medication started having a bad reputation, because whenever there was the compounding era of these medications, everyone was given these medications. I mean, they were not doctors. They were only people that they had nothing to do with health, and they were giving this medication. Barbers, estheticians, like in med spas, places that there was no a medical supervision, they were given these medications. And then unfortunately, a lot of patients develop side effects, because either they were giving the dose too fast, too much, or they were still giving the medications whenever the patients were developing some adverse effects. So if you follow the with a doctor that knows about, that is specialized in obesity, that knows about these medications, then my patients have very little side effects. If, as you said, they can have nausea, maybe sometimes they went on vacation, they went on a cruise, that's a typical one. So they went on a cruise, they ate a little bit more than they should. That's whenever they get a little bit of more nausea, or feel that their foot is here, on their neck, or heartburn, or diarrhea. But it's because they know that they ate something they were not supposed to. But for the most time, they are very well tolerated, these medications, again. And if we do it in a medical monitored way, you should not have any severe adverse effects, to be honest with you. And that's something that people need to understand, that if we do the things the way they're supposed to, and we monitor, then they should be fine. I know they're some scares out there, oh, if it's going to cause blindness, is this going to cause this? But truly, if this medications, number one, Ozempic has been in the market since 2017. So we have a couple of years already of this medication being on the market. And there's no severe side effects from them if we do it the right way. Of course, with any kind of medication, there's going to be possibility of side effects. And some of them may be very, very rare. What I was reading a little bit about that, non-ischemic problem with the eyes, that they were showing that it was blindness, but that's probably 1 to 2 cases per 100,000 patients, so it's yes, we don't want to be that 1 or 2 patients from the 100,000, but at the same time, this tells you that it's a very rare entity. And we always have to be mindful of not being dehydrated, having to control your with your blood pressure, because also whenever you lose weight, your blood pressure tends to go down. And if you continue taking the same medications you were before, then you're at risk for developing hypotension, that means low blood pressure. And whenever you have low blood pressure, and there's been seen more and more of this, at night, it can cause less oxygen to the brain, less oxygen to your optic nerve, and that can increase your risk for problems in your eyes. But if we don't have that, then probably you will tolerate them very well.
Well, you are without a doubt the most loved doctor in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Tell people, how do they go to your website?
So thank you, Steve. Like my website is www.elitecare-clinic.com. And we are in Las Colinas, Irving.
And Dr. Gamboa is with us the last Wednesday of the month at 4:25 Central Time. Dr. Gamboa, we'll see you next month.
I will see you then. Thank you so much,
Thank
Steve.
you.
Bye-bye.
And hey, that's going to do it for us today. We'll be back again with you next week with more Ask the Experts.
Thanks for tuning in today to the Ask the Experts show on W4CY Radio and Talk4 TV. Tune in next week and every week to hear more from our experts on personal injury, insurance, air condition repairs, estate planning, Medicare, and many other topics in the areas of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. See you next week.